Hey, it's Mala here, and you're listening to 34 Je. Okay, so for those of you who are just listening to us right now, 34 Je is a new program on RTM Radio. Right now, all of 34 stations in RTM Radio, we bring you the immersive journey where art transcends limitation, creativity takes center stage, where colors dance, stories come to life, and melodies echoes the emotions and soul. We will share with you exciting events, art, things, and places. For today, I'm here with the two amazing superstars, Ammar and Azwan.
Hi. Hello.
From the National Academy of Arts, Culture and Heritage, talking about Theatre A Nowhere Place, adaptation from Thai writer Pradit Prasartan. The theatre staging was for Aswara students in tandem on their final year assessment. So without further ado, I'm going to shoot them some questions. And they're going to share with us their journey in the production of the film. So the first one, Azwan. Ammar, sorry. Okay, well, first one, Ammar.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to ask you a few questions. What inspired your interpretation of this particular script or story?
The script written by Pradit Prasartan. There's a context behind it.
Okay.
It's about the Thailand massacre, 1976. So, but kita tak ada lagi masa tu kan. So, I kind of reminisce the memory, mengingatkan memori tragedi Malaysia tu. 13th of May. And daripada situ, we try to link the story and what is going to happen to the citizen if this incident happens today, and what are the effects of humans, such as mental health and around the family, what happened towards them, and mostly on films. So that's my interpretation of this script, and also a communication with my scenographer, also important. And yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's fantastic. And this particular, anything else to add? Azwan, anything else to add?
Yeah, this play is very beautiful because when we uncut the story about the riot, the massacre that happened in the Thailand. Also, we know generally in Malaysia also we have our own riot, right, on 13th of May. So in the script, for me, it's totally about how to find your peace. How to find your peace.
That's very, very powerful. And also just to lead to that, I'm sure when you read the script, there was a vision that you had to, turn it into stage, right? And so how did you actually envision translating the script itself into the stage version of it?
A nowhere place, and how are we going to define a nowhere place?
A nowhere place, yeah.
Is it an endless loop, or a straight line, or an empty space? So the discussion between me and my partner and also my sino, trying to figure it out. Is it suitable for the story? And yeah, it goes from there. It's a communication between me and also my pelakon. It's a collaborative work.
Okay.
And, yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, since we have Azwan here as well, when we come back, we're going to ask him more questions on how he actually, used his emotions in the play. And I wish all of you could see it as well as how I watched it today. But when we come back, we'll go through a bit more questions right here on Trax FM. Hey, it's Mala here on Trax FM, and we are back with the amazing talents Ammar and Azwan from the National Academy of Arts, Culture and Heritage. And we were just talking about their amazing play that I just watched recently, right? So we're asking some question about the actors itself. And I want to know a bit about from you, Azwan. You played in so much of emotions on stage, and how did you actually bring out the essence of your character on stage?
Okay. as an actor, the most important thing you must look up your script first, right? Look up your script. You kaji your characterization. You know where he from, who is he, why is he portrayed in the script. So what is the message from the script or from the character delivery? When you know all about that for your character, especially for me, so it helps to grow up your emotion because you already understand the story. So if you couldn't understand your story, you cannot deliver the mood, you cannot deliver the emotion sincerely.
Wow, that's amazing. And how long did you take to research about your role and your character before you went on stage and started playing the role?
In Aswara, we started our process. Script reading, and we went through previews. Previews, right? Previews. We have previews with our own lecturers, beloved lecturers in Aswara. So between all the previews that we we do, we have the notes, we have the comments as to penambahbaikan in what we're doing in our play. Right?
All right, thank you. So as what Azwan was mentioning, of course, there's a lot of research, and they would also need to go through a lot of script reading and also understanding what the character is all about. So from the director's perspective, though, how did you manage to guide the actors, in this case, 2 stars, on carrying the role on stage?
Different people got different kinds of communication, and me as a director is how are you going to communicate with your actors? How are you going to tackle their thinking with your own theory? And a good communication is very important. And it starts from there. It's give and take ideas, and what do you think about this? Then is it okay for you to do this? And what if you do this? What if happen if you sort of things? And so it's a communication between the actors is very, very important lah. It's also a process for me to understand the script, and it's collaborative work.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So from the director's perspective, it's more of communicating with the actors and guiding them as to what the roles actually carry out. And I would like to just, extend the question a bit more and ask, for you to collaborate with other actors as well, there has to be a synergy in your play and your role.
Right.
So how do you carry that on stage when you're working together with other actors? So maybe you can share a bit about from the actor's perspective and also from Ammar, the director's perspective on working together with the cast as a whole.
Maybe from actor's perspective first, right? Okay. Maybe from my perspective as an actor in this play, the important thing is you do your conversation with your own partner in acting. So conversation is like what is your interpretation between you guys two? What is your kefahaman in understanding in our different understanding, right? So when we have the conversation about that, so from that we know how to do the acting, and then we use it in our rehearsal every day, because we have rehearsal, our schedule is already scheduled, our rehearsals, right? And then on every our rehearsals, we always bringing something new in our acting. So that is the important thing, how to act.
All right, thank you, Azwan. So there you have it, Ammar and Azwan, with their rendition of how they actually bring their cast on stage and how they collaborate and work together to make their emotions actually play through the characters in real life, right? So when we come back, we're going to go through and deep dive a little bit on the specific challenges that they may have faced, but we'll take a break in just a bit and come back again for 34 Je. We're back on 34 Jer, and of course, I'm together with these two amazing individuals, and I'm going to deep dive again and ask them a few more questions as the director and the, of course, main actor of their stage acting. So, what were some of your biggest challenges you faced while directing the production, and how did you actually overcome it? And next up, Azwan, I'm going to ask you, but let's have the director take the first answer.
For this script, this is my first time directing an English play.
Wow, okay.
So I can speak English, but sometimes we don't know how to talk, how to say it. To say the conversation, how are we going to blend it and make it as a good conversation.
Cool.
And also the collaborative talk with the scenographer is quite challenging. And it took some months to create a thing in the performance, and what do we need to tell the story, and what am I going to tell the story to the audience. There's a conversation between the senior, and it's a process, and ta-da, until today.
That's fantastic. So communicating again would be one of the ways that you overcome those challenges, right? All right. So how about you, Azwan? In terms of being an actor itself, what will be your biggest challenge and how did you actually overcome it?
Of course, maybe from me, the most challenging is this is my first time playing the full-length English play, right? This is my first time. So, what helps me is I always watch film, English film, English drama. So it helps me. It very helps me. The most that can help me is I always train myself to communicate with my friends in English, even though it's hard to make to have a perfect English, right? Yeah, perfect pronunciation. At least I've tried. And the second one is maybe the most challenging is my character itself.
Yeah. It is intense.
Talk about Alzheimer.
An old man Alzheimer.
Illness, right? Talk about Alzheimer. Especially me, I didn't know how to feel, and because I'm not the person, I'm not the patient of Alzheimer's, right? So I use my research. I watch how to take care about the patient of Alzheimer's. So it helps me seeing their movements, seeing their behavior. Because if you can't portray you are Alzheimer's, how could people know you are Alzheimer's, right? Yeah. So by my behavior on stage, maybe I hope it give a good visual for you guys too.
For our final question, for Ammar and Azwan as well, what are the aspects of production that you are most proud of that you have done after 5 months of production and learning how to get the role and building the character to life? What is the most proud of moment for you?
I think the communication between the team. It's very, very, very important, since I'm the person who rarely talks to people, and it's my challenging. It's a challenging work to create an atmosphere with good vibes within the team, right? So I need to go out and communicate with them and also guide them properly, and it's fun.
And how about yourself, Azwan?
For me, the most moment proudest moment for me is actually before the show.
Nice.
Before the show, we're doing our own circle. We thank to them who help us in the production. It's hard to know. It's hard to collect people, to have people who is willing to help us. It's very hard because for those that willing to help us, very ikhlas, since
They're sincere.
yeah, it's very big for me. Without them, I can't do this. Yeah.
Thank you to Ammar and of course Azwan for joining us today from the National Academy of Arts, Culture and Heritage. Don't forget to join us every week for more updates on exciting events, arts, things and places. 34 Je loves it.